This is my pond before, and this is after. I started out by getting a feel for the spot that I wanted it.
I want it roughly right here-ish.
Once I thought I knew where I wanted it, I gave it the head nod of approval, and I started marking. I used a shovel to indent the grass so I wouldn't get spray paint on the actual liner itself. Then after that, I marked it with spray paint. Now the pond's flipped over. This is the type of pond it is, 125 gallons. So I have to measure all around that, and that's a different depth down. So I have to spray paint for that too. I then marked the other level with spray paint. This part's going to be deeper, and then this part, that's where the levels and stuff are. This is the beginning of a long process. Digging. So I dug some more. Then I put in the pond to see if it would fit. It didn't. And this is what I ended up with. Alright, here's what the hole looks like. Here's all the dirt. The only thing left to check is if it's level. Depot run. $82 later. January 8th today. So whenever the next clip of me like planting plants and stuff, that'll have to be like 2 months later, whenever the cold is out of the way, because I don't want to plant plants and get fish and then they die. So this next step, I'm adding a weed layer so none of the weeds grow through and mess with the plants or anything. This thing that I'm zooming in on right now is actually a waterfall. I'm going to hook up a filter to it, so then we'll have a nice little waterfall in the pond. I didn't pay for that or the pond liner, so that will not be in the list of expenses. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see how much this whole build cost me. After I added the weed layer, I put in these borders that I bought from Home Depot. They have these metal stakes, and you just pretty much line them up where you want them, and you just shove them into the ground. Next step is to add the mulch. Not gonna lie to you, I was a little opposed to the red. Like, I really wanted this nice red mulch, but I wasn't sure how it was gonna look. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So glad I did it. After I poured out all the mulch, I flattened it out with my hands.
That looks so good.
Does it?
Yeah.
This is driftwood that I collected from a local creek by my house. All these pieces of driftwood were really dirty, that's why I had to clean them. Don't worry, I'm not using my toothbrush, I'm using my sister's to clean it. This last piece of wood had a lot of details on it, which is really why I liked it, but I had to hammer off a lot of the rotten parts. I used a screwdriver and hammer to get all the rotten spots out, but the hammer by itself did most of the work. After that, I had to saw this thing in half because it was just too big for the pond. I regret using a handsaw. Let's just say I got it after like 20 minutes. After I added the driftwood, here's how it looks. Next, I started setting up the waterfall. I added these lava rocks because it's really good for beneficial bacteria to grow on. As you can see, I'm sawing these pallets in half. Stick around to find out what I used them for. Next, I measured out the size of the board that I needed, and I used it as a template for the other ones. Always use protection. I painted and sealed these boards so the rain wouldn't rot them. Everything was going awesome until this happened. Oh no. So it's been raining. Filled it up, but it's pushing the pond out. There's water underneath there. Oh no. Today's a very important step. So today's pretty important because I'm fixing this that happened. So a while back it rained, like I showed in the last clip. It rained, and that's why there's water in this. I never filled it up, and this is the first day that the weather's been not raining and cold, so I can finally fix it. But what happened was, and this was just because it was my first time building a pond, the rainwater got under the pond because it was empty. So it filled up, yeah, but underneath the groundwater seeped into that hole that I dug, pushing the pond, this like pond liner, out of the ground. Just around this front, you could see it kind of sunk in. That was my fault, just because I didn't fill it up well enough. Today I'm gonna fix this. I'm going to drain all that water, pull the pond out, and pull a lot of the mulch back out, and then put some more dirt to fill it in. And also we're gonna put all the rocks in to weigh it down, so if it rains again, the groundwater won't push the liner up. So luckily I have a lot of dirt saved up from whenever I dug this hole in the first place, so I'm just going to put some back in it. After digging out the bottom of the pond, I could put the liner back in and level it to how I needed it. You get these bags from Home Depot, $4. You get gravel at a pet store, $19. This is the reason you rinse your gravel before you put it in your ponds or your fish tank. Those rocks had that dirty water in it. Alright, so here is what I've been building. So out of those pallets you saw me cutting, I built these boards. They're each wood glued and sealed, so the rain and stuff won't get through these. Because I'm sure this thing is waterproof because it's dealing with fish stuff, but just to be sure the weather and stuff doesn't mess up this absolute tank of a beast. This is the most expensive part of this whole pond project. Next day it's filled up. I'm setting up the filter here so we can get the waterfall going. This is how it's going to work. It's going to go in, filters back out through the waterfall.
So this plant was free. I actually got it from a pond near my house. It's a lily pad. And I gotta clean up the roots a little bit. I dug it up with a shovel, and it's gonna be the main plant for this pond.
There's the lily pads. I added more mulch. I was out with my girlfriend one day when I saw these bamboo, and it was kind of late at night, so I decided to come home and set them up. And speak of the devil. Action. Okay, we just dug a hole. Nice. Just cover it as much as you can. Yeah, you want to plant this one?
Yeah.
Okay, you go for it. Almost done, got a few more. This is how it looks after we added the plants, and I think it looks amazing. This is a quick little 360 of the pond. We're gonna go ahead and reveal it to my mom.
Oh, look how pretty. I got dad shoes on.
Oh wow.
Oh, it looks good. Oh, I like the bushes back there.
I had the outside of the pond nearly finished, but we haven't even touched the water much. So I ordered 3 things off of Amazon, and they finally came in. Not sponsored. Oh. We have a little potted plant. We have some stem plants. Shout out Lifeguard Aquatics. Go check them out. In this box right here, we got all of this. We got a big piece, and then we got some medium-sized pieces, and we got smaller pieces, but this is all in one box, and I believe the box was about 40 bucks. I'll double check on that. But yeah, this one's big. This one will be the centerpiece, and these are about to go in the pond right now. Whenever I was placing these rocks, I was keeping in mind that I was going to have fish in here, and they would need some places to hide, so I was trying to make little caves and stuff for them to kind of swim around in. At this point in the video, you're probably thinking, wow, how much money did this kid blow on this pond? That's great, because I'm about to tell you. The plants were $161.22. The mulch was $9.99. The filter was $187.22. The rocks were $29.85. The borders were $105.23. The fish were $162. And just some random miscellaneous items that I grabbed were $15.12. For a grand total of $670.63. My wallet is crying right now. With that being said, guys, please like this video and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on post notifications, because in a few days I'm going to be posting, and I have a lot of cool fish for you guys to see. $120 worth of fish. Here's the first box. These guys are going crazy when they saw the daylight. These are going to be pretty. They're in bright orange color.